Well, thanks for continuing to watch this episode of Answering the Call. Our next story comes from Merkel, Texas. We're at Butman Methodist Camp and Retreat Center, and with me is Jeff Robinson, the Executive Director. Jeff, thank you so much for spending some time and showing us what God is doing here in your camp.
Yeah, well, thank you for coming out and filming. It's been a blessing to have you here and to see what the ministry that's going on with these kids.
Yeah, well, as Executive Director, I know you guys host a lot of different groups that come to this camp. Talk a little bit about what you guys do here for God with His land.
Okay, well, we have anything from adult retreats all the way through kids camps, intellectually challenged adults, kids with incarcerated loved ones, just mid-high, high school, and we just sharing Jesus with them and loving on them.
Well, what I love about this week is you have a couple different groups. You have New Dawn and you have Grace Camp. Talk about those folks.
All right, New Dawn is a camp for intellectually challenged adults. And we just bring them out here and they get to do zip line and things that they would never get to do anywhere else. And we do skits about Jesus and just really try to share love with them and show them who Jesus is in a tangible way that they can understand. And then Grace Camp is, we're partnered with Angel Tree, and they are the kids with incarcerated loved ones. And so Angel Tree donates a lot of money to help that camp. And then we raise the funds for the rest of them so they can come virtually free. And we just love on them. We do some grief counseling and things like that, and just help them understand that just because their loved one is incarcerated, that they can be forgiven. Like this week, our theme is Joseph, right, and how he went to prison, but the mighty things God used him for afterwards. So we're just trying to share that with the kids.
That's good. So part of the Christian Camp Conference Association, what I've heard the most about Christian Camp is that it's a place where in the middle of creation you can really hear the voice of the Creator. Talk a little about that.
Yeah, there was a study done by the Christian Camping Conference Association that said that kids are nature deficient, and they spend way too much time with their phones and and video games, and that we just need to get them back to nature to stimulate them, and it actually increases brain activity.
That's amazing. So, yeah, I mean, God's fingerprints is all over creation, right? So many stories where you've heard people come to know Christ for the first time here. So evangelism is, I wouldn't say easier, but it's certainly happening here. And then those maybe reconnect or recommit here as well, right?
Yes, just the last 5 weeks of camp that we've had over 47 first-time commitments for Christ, 67 recommitments, and 13 calls to ministry where kids are actually being called to be pastors.
That's awesome. So talk a little about some of the amenities, some of the activities here at the camp.
All right, we have 53 rooms, we have 2 lodges, we have 7 cabins and 4 cottages, 356 beds, we do full meals, fresh cut fruit and salad on salad bars. We're known for our oatmeal, just so you guys know. And we just love spending time, and we have 2 chapels.
There's just so much to do here, but then again, there's also quiet time to chill and relax and take in the scenery, right?
Yes, there's always time. Like tonight, we're doing a hike to the cross, and we're going to give testimonies, and it's just going to be a good time to show the kids, that you have to stop and spend time with Christ and listen.
Stay tuned. We're going to get some more interviews from some of the staff and some of the directors here at Butman Methodist Camp and Retreat Center, so you too can see how God is using this place as His hands and feet. Keep watching.
The vision and the heartbeat of camp is to change hearts one at a time for God's glory.
To be a place that it just provides an atmosphere for heaven to come near to people who are hungry.
This space is a space where human contact and human connection really comes into play here.
I really see that working its way through the way that we are able to interact with the kids. It's just such a set-apart, special place. I feel like we're really able to encompass the vision and walk out the vision of ministry.
And then New Dawn, it is a camp for adults with intellectual disabilities. And these campers, it's like they wait all year long to get to Butman.
They get to come experience camp as children, because intellectually that's kind of what they are, and they get to zip line and rock wall, climb and swim.
They love you, and they're just ready to take you in no matter what. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter what you've ever done before in your life. They just think that you are the best thing in the world. They get packed as soon as they're home from camp, they're packing for the next year. So it's a really, really cool camp.
We are trying to get kids that have parents in jail or prison to come to this camp. They get to get an experience with God in this place.
I love Grace Camp. That's what the Holy Spirit can do. He can do more in 5 seconds than we can do in 5 years. And in a matter of moments, there was a transformation that we all got to see.
Sometimes it's for the first time that people get to experience God in this place, and other times it's a reconnection back with Him.
And they get to have about 100 different ways in which they get reinforced that they really are a child of God and of incredible worth.
There's lots of ways to get involved with Camp Butman. There are many ways that you can really serve and love kids in this space as a volunteer.
You can send us campers, send us helpers. We always need volunteer counselors to actually one-on-one interact with the kids. We can always use more campers.
So Butman relies on volunteers, it relies on donations from other people, it relies on people praying.
Angel Tree sees a need to send kids to camp, and so they have sponsors and donors that give money for these kids to come to camp.
It's such a special place. It changes your life.